Sometimes I got to do the boat a little too long because I don't know how to start this. Nice job, Raz. It's the Gaming Galleon. I'm Captain Raz. How are you today? Are you ready for adventure? Are you ready for fun? Are you ready for some laughs? Are you ready for the unknown? Here it sits, my friends. Here it sits. Yes, it is the finest ship on the Silicon Seas, the Gaming Galleon, and I'm your host once again, Captain Raz. So, I'm really excited about today's show because it's very seldom that I get to talk about what we're talking about today. Arcade games. How often does this happen, you know? We like to talk about the old games all the time. We're pulling, cartridges and old discs and stuff like that. But, you can't exactly fit a copy of Blitz for the arcade in this baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't have the upper arm strength for that. So luckily, we have some fine people here in the area who have done, nothing short of God's work. They made an arcade, but they didn't just make any arcade. They made an arcade that's free to play. Free to play? Isn't that over the line? Okay, maybe it's a tad over the line, but I don't know how you'd really describe this type of arcade. Because you see, arcades have changed a lot in the past 30 years. They're no longer the pop in a quarter scenario. Okay, in the case of where we're going today, Boss Battle Games, here in Indianapolis, you don't pop quarters in. Okay? You show up at the door, and for $5 an hour, or $10 for the day, you play as much as you want. Anything at all. Think about that. Now, they're open somewhere between... Boss Battle Games is open somewhere between noon and 9. Okay? And if you give them $10, you're playing for just a little bit over $1 an hour. Can you imagine that? Think about trying to do that back in the 90s. You'd have to be stuck on, like, pinball to do that. And just the same pinball machine over and over. This is everything. And you're like, yeah, well, what do they got? What's so great about it? All right, well, here, I pulled a couple things from the hold. Just to give you an idea. We're not going to get crazy with them. But I'm just going to blind grab here. What do we got? They have Super Off-Road. Okay? Remember Super Off-Road? 3 wheels. Top-down racing with your friends. Oh, my God. So much fun. The greatest thing about playing it unlimited, in this one, you had to pay money to increase your car. Just increase it to the max right out of the box, and all 3 of you have, like, the same ride. Then you're really doing some supercharged racing. Awesome. What do you got here? Rastan? Oh, my God. Rastan? When I saw that they had Rastan, the arcade game, there, I almost, dropped my cutlass. Okay? They had so much... Like, the design of this thing, you got lizards on there. What's the plot of Rastan? Here, that alone should tell you. What's this guy want to do? He shows up at a kingdom. The queen asks him, would you mind decapitating a dragon and then bringing the head back, and I will give you my fortune. And he goes off to do it. Incredible game. Absolutely incredible. Rastan playing that in the arcade? Oh, my God. Altered Beast. Yeah, they got Altered Beast. Remember Altered Beast? Imagine that. Remember how some people would play this game because, you die quick, but if you managed to transform into one of the super monsters, you were invincible at that time. So at least for a kid who didn't have a lot of pocket money, that kept it going a little longer. Altered Beast. And that's 2-player, too. What do you got? What do we have here? I pulled Capcom Classics Collection because they have a shooter called Vulgus. That's like my game there. It's just a shooter. There's nothing too special about it, but I'm a sucker for those, and they're score-based. You know, I currently have the high score of all my friends on old Volgas. I'm so excited about it. You know, it's a planet-based thing. I'm so excited. I made it to the 3rd planet. I'm going to name it Planet Raz. You know, I'm telling people, hey, if you make it to the 4th planet, you can name it. Like I'm some kind of, you know, dynamo or something. Neo Geo, they have a Neo Geo machine with, you know, every Neo Geo game you can think of. Shooters, fighters, playing Mark of the Wolves in the arcade, man. Fatal Fury, Garo, Mark of the Wolves in the arcade. I mean, I never thought that'd be possible. Mortal Kombat 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Super Mario Brothers Arcade, Mortal Kombat. What else? I had to bring the small chest just to help me out. I mean, you got Karate Champ. Only way to play Karate Champs in the arcade because it's 2 joysticks. Imagine a fighting game with no buttons. That's, I mean, come on. Price of admission right there. You got Double Dragon in here. Gyrus. Mortal Kombat 4. Not a big fan of that one, to be honest. The Turtles Arcade. Yeah, they have it. I mean, this thing, you know, Turtles Arcade, who cares about the NES one, really? You want to play that in the arcade, and my God, do they have it. So, just incredible. I mean, I could go on and on, but let me tell you about what they're really doing here. Okay, well, let me tell you about why this place is really special. It's owned by 2 people, okay? One guy's really into games, and he owns all the arcade games, and then his wife is a cosplayer, okay? And she runs kind of the business side. So they're, you know, a tandem mom and pop shop. Doesn't get more mom and pop than this. But think about that combination. You got a gamer, and you got someone who's into fantasy, costume, you know, imagination hobbies, and the 2 shall meet. Think about what kind of tournament potential that is. Because tournaments are great. Arcade tournaments are great, but they're a little sterile for the most part. I mean, when's the last time you've been to a tournament? Most tournaments I've been to are Smash Brothers tournaments, and that's fine. But, you know, there's really not a lot of imagination going on there. People sit down, they play. It's for the spirit of competition, and they leave. It's just how it is. But you take someone who has a lot of pride in this and has a lot of imagination in this, things get a little more interesting. So what they did was last weekend, myself, Mary, Admiral Will, and Cody and Pat, we all showed up at Boss Battle Games to shoot, do some interviews. You're going to see that stuff on the channel if you haven't already. It'll be rolling out all month. But the most important thing for me was they were running a tournament called... How we doing on time? Oh my God, we're already over. We're already over. Whatever. They're doing a tournament called the Boss Battles Dungeon Crawl. Okay? And it's 4 levels. 4 levels of this dungeon. Okay? And I think I'm just going to tell you more about it as we go into what we're playing today. Which I haven't even told you, have I? I can't believe we're 10 minutes in and I haven't even told you what we're playing. I'm sorry. I'm just very excited. Lots to cover here today. We're going to be playing one of the games that they have at Boss Battle Games. And again, keep in mind, you can play this game unlimited for the day. We're going to be playing Gauntlet Dark Legacy for the PlayStation 2. Now, of course, here in, you know, our sweet little tub, we don't have an arcade cabinet of Dark Legacy. We got to play it this way. But, and as you get into it, you'll see why I picked this, why it's a great game, and why it's appropriate for us, and why it's, like, born to be in an unlimited play arcade. Is that what they're called? Unlimited play arcades? I have no idea. I don't even know that there's a name for an arcade that doesn't hit you with quarters all the time. I don't know. They should come up with one. Okay, so let's play Dark Legacy. We'll talk about the Boss Battles Dungeon Crawl as we go. And we'll get to the booty segment very soon. Special thanks to Felicia and Dustin for all they've done at Boss Battle Games. And I got to send one out to Felicia. You may be happy with this one, okay? Just going to let you know. All right, let's do it. Dark Legacy. Gauntlet Dark Legacy for the PlayStation 2. All pretty easy transition here. Usually I struggle getting the audio. I gotta turn the audio on for this. But this game being what it was, made in a time when it was, take a look at this. How many console games do you see this? A console game with a screensaver. How about that, huh? I mean, what a way to start. Flaming Axis. Have we looked at this long enough again? Alright, so here we are. We're in the Wizard's Tower. And my character's asleep. Behind you, you see the wizard of this tower, okay? And that's where we find ourselves. Now, you may notice that we look a lot alike. Oh, I don't want to look. I don't want to talk to you. I'm just looking at you, pal. That's because this game has a lot of flexibility. This is your typical make a character and go level them up game. But there's... if you can see in the lower left-hand corner, my name is Sum224. That's actually a secret code. Why am I using a secret code? It's not to cheat. It's because this game gives you so many different characters, secret characters to play, beyond your normal fighter, mage, thief classes. They have weird stuff. You put in secret codes. You can be like a cheerleader. You can be a ninja. You can be a football player. And in my case, when I first saw the main wizard for this game, with the long flowing robes and the white beard, big floppy hat, I thought, I can't do any better than that guy. So that's who I play as in this. It looks like I'm level 45. That means I've played this game quite a bit, okay? But anyway, let's talk about where we are. We're in the Wizard's Tower. This tower has 8 portals in it to the 8 realms of the kingdom. And there's like a dragon or something, or a demon that's stalking the land, and you have to go to all these various worlds, these various portals, and explore for a certain amount of artifacts to defeat them. Long story short, it's a collectathon, but what's the most exciting is the combat is a blast. So let's find a place to go into. I need 200 yellow crystals to enter the desert lands. Okay, so it doesn't look like I can go in here. Is that right? Yeah, so so I need some yellow crystals. And you can find those in the other worlds. What's up here? Can I go in here? This looks like kind of icy. No. Alright, so it looks like this wing's closed off. Don't I have a run button or something? Oh no, Raz, you're an idiot. I'm going to explain to you how I got to level 45 and not know the buttons in just a second. But let's find a place to go into here. I don't want to go in that one, I don't think. Is this like a castle or something? What's this one? This looks like a castle. Let's try here. Let's try here. So a lot of levels here. Oh yeah, the treasury. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Give me some stuff. So the coolest thing about the interface in this game... Oh, and I have to fix it. Are you serious? Oh, it's a good thing we're going in here. Controls. Check this out. I don't usually like to do this, but... Okay, you got arcade controls, one-handed controls, and Robotron controls. You know what that means? That means this game couldn't be easier, because you use one joystick to move and the other joystick to fire. I absolutely love that control scheme, and it's really the reason that I fell in love with this game so much. Because on its face, it's just another action RPG. But you throw in that very approachable control scheme and the very fun multiplayer, and you have a game, a great party game. Because most people, when you say action RPG, they're gonna roll their eye. Oh, that's a potion. I don't want to kill that. Gotta close off that door. All right. When you tell them about... Oh wow, I'm maxed out on keys. Oh my god. All right. We'll unlock a door here. You tell them about an action RPG, they just roll their eyes. But all you gotta do is put, you know, because it can get complicated. Here, though, all you gotta do is put the controller in their hand, say, put one thumb on, tell them your left thumb moves your character, your right thumb makes them fire, and, I mean, they're like, well, that's not that hard. Next thing you know, you guys are fighting over gold and treasure chests and whatnot. Let's throw a potion down here. Yeah. So there's a lot of different classes in here. I mean, there's gotta be like... Uh-oh, that's a worm. Yeah. There's gotta be like... I think there's 8 base classes, 4 secret characters, and then just a host of these skins. And the skins are another thing that make me feel like anyone can play this game. Because maybe not everyone wants to be a wizard, but anyone, you know, would want to be... There's so many options that there's going to be something for everyone. I mean, one of the characters is you can be... There's a sadomasochistic dwarf. There's a chicken. There's... Alright, I gotta break out the big guns here. I think that killed him. There's a Japanese schoolgirl. Here, you're wondering why this doesn't take itself so seriously? You know, one word for you, Midway. Okay? Here's a Midway game. They never take themselves too seriously. And, you know, God bless them for that. Because here's a game that really... You know, I love action RPGs, but I wouldn't sit people down with a lot of my favorites. This one, I'd have no problem sitting people down with, so... Alright, so how are we doing on time? Let's see, we got about 25 minutes. We're about 25 minutes in. We got about 5 minutes left in the dungeon here. Then we'll come back out for the booty segment. So let's talk about this dungeon crawl that Boss Battle Games had, alright? So they announced this thing where they were gonna... Oh! At first, they were gonna handpick eight contestants from response. You had to write them and say why you wanted to be in it. And I did the whole pirate thing because I was excited. I want to make sure they know what they're doing is exciting. So I got into it. But they were really surprised with the response. I personally was not. I mean, there's no tournaments in this in the area. I mean, there are, but nothing like this, where the basis was it's going to be 4 rounds, 4 games, and you had no idea what console it's going to be. Now, I said that they have arcade games. They have more than arcade games. They have all kinds of consoles that you can plug in and play. Bring the games you like. You can bring them to the arcade, and you'll find people you can play your favorite games with. Or they have their own games you can stick into these old consoles and play retro. They have the modern stuff. They have Wii U. I think they have, I don't know if they have a PS4, but they might. Who knows? I don't really pay attention to that stuff when I'm there. I'm looking at the arcades. But here's the, Felicia and Dustin, the owners, they're like, look, that's how the dungeon crawl is going to work. We're going to throw 4 games at you. You have no idea what they are, what system they're in. It's all on the spot. And we're going to pick 8 people to play. Well, they got such a response that they had to add a preliminary round. Okay? And the preliminary round, all we knew going in was that it was going to be point-based. So, I knew I was going to compete. Mary and Will, they were busy, actually doing stuff for the channel. Doing the hard work. And... Mary's husband came along to help out, so the 3 of them were busy. They weren't really interested in these reindeer games, but me and Cody and Patty the Swallow, we were all in. So we got hit by those buzzsaws there. So we show up for the first round, and again, Felicia says, okay, this is point-based. the game we're gonna play what came out in 1986. Does anyone have an idea? And I think I said Vulgus, which I discussed earlier, my favorite shooting game, because I think it came out around then. Oh, here's the end of the level. Great. All right, that didn't take long. Let's take a break. We'll go to the booty segment. Oh, we're picking up gold here. One of the greatest things about this game, everything you pick up means something. You get experience gold. And how about this? There's a shop. So let's get some meat. And we'll get something cool. We'll get something fun for the next... what do you got? You got lightning breath here. Growth, Phoenix, rapid fire, 3-way shot. X-ray glasses, that's kind of cool. I mean, look at all the choices. You can even, you see this? Add 1,000 gold. You can add 10 to your magic stat. Or add 10 to your hit points. You can add 10 to speed, strength. So you see, there's you know, you can customize your guy here. There's always something to spend on. I think that's so cool, but we'll get some fun stuff. We're gonna get we'll get X-ray glasses. And what was the other one that I saw that looked fun? Growth. Alright, we'll get growth. Okay, and we'll get acid breath. Alright, great. Okay, so we're done. Get me out of here, please. I'm sorry about the menu thing. I hate... There we go. I hate sticking you guys in the... But look at this. You get a title for how high your level is. I'm level 45. I'm a conjurer. There's your inventory screen here. You got to collect all this crap to one day track down the demon or whatever. I'm not going to bother saving. Alright. And then we'll come back to this later. Okay? Alright, I'm going to cut the music here. And we'll come back. Alright, sweet. So yeah, Dark Legacy. I mean, again, think about this. Think about this with Dark Legacy. Okay, you got a 4-player game here with, you know, at least a dozen different classes. More so if you count the secret characters, the cheat characters. I don't know if they're really cheats, but whatever. You've got a level system, and if you haven't played this in the arcade, if you think, you know, it'd be weird, you can even save your character in the arcade. There's a password system. Swear to God. So think about that in an unlimited arcade scenario. Think about hanging out with your friends around a 4-player arcade game and building characters. That is so cool to me. That is so cool that you can play an RPG in the middle of an arcade as much as you want. I think that's so neat. So, totally recommend Dark Legacy. And if you're local, I totally recommend it at Boss Battle Games. Okay, let's get into the chest. Okay? We'll get back to the tournament later. Jeez, we're only in the first round? How we doing on time? What do we got? Got about half an hour, I think? Is that right? Okay, so nice, good stuff in here. I don't think it's a lot, but I think you're gonna be pleased with it. Okay, I was. About three stores here. First store, I walked in, and I asked them, did they have anything? And just want to make sure our audio is okay over here. Sorry. I asked if they had anything, and she's, you know, they're like, what? I'm like, oh, Wii games, PS3, you know, anything you got, whatever. And she's like, oh, I just put some stuff on the wall there, and I'm like, she's like, oh yeah, but there's like some Marios and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. She's talking Wii games. So I walk over there, I look at the wall, and it's some decent stuff, but it's stuff we have. And Wii right now, it's like, it's, you know, it's kind of just on that cusp of not being worth buying doubles. It's just not all the way there for me. It's kind of, yeah, even the Mario stuff really isn't worth as much as your typical Mario stuff on other consoles for the Wii right now. That's probably going to change in just a few months. Right now, it's just kind of on the low end, so I'm not stockpiling for the Wii really right now. But I did see next to New Super Mario Brothers, which we have, and Punch Out, which we also have, something we didn't have. Check it out. Super Mario All-Stars. You people who grew up in the SNES days probably recognize this as a game for the SNES that had the first 4 Marios. So Super Mario 1, Super Mario 2, Super Mario 3, and then finally the Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2. All on the same disc. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. What's in the middle? Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing here. This is just a recreation of the Super NES, the SNES game. And really nice looking disc here. And a very heavy book, manual. I don't know what this is, but it's huge. It's an instruction manual. Pretty big. So this one is hard to find. This one's hard to find because I believe it only came out either through a pre-order or through a bundle with One Christmas, some sort of anniversary bundle, and it came bundled with a CD, a second case that has CD. And actually, we've come across the CD case. I got that a while back, but we didn't have the game. This thing's not easy to find for a good price. Usually, most stores are selling this from somewhere around $40 to $50. So to find it for what we found it for, which was $5, was awesome. The ironic thing, though, is I've been looking for this for a long, long time, and I don't know if you can see that. I should probably autofocus, huh? Let me do the autofocus real quick. So we're going to be looking at a couple things. The ironic thing is the day after I picked this up, I found out that Nintendo just this week has announced a number of games being re-released for $20 for the Wii U, the Wii, and the 3DS. And one of them happens to be this guy for $20. So this isn't going to be nearly as hard to find as all the time I've been looking for it, but still for $5, very happy to find it. Very happy indeed. And, you know, they're going to re-release it. This is one of the original releases. That's not a huge deal, but for someone who's a collector, sometimes that's a big deal. So yeah, there you go. Let me check the autofocus, and then we'll get to what she pulled out for me while I was looking, because she did go in the back. Okay? All right. So she went in the back, and she grabbed I could hear as I'm looking at the games behind me, or on the wall, I could hear behind me like music to my ears. What is that? That is when you hear wheels rolling. That means she's pulling out a cart. Because you may go to into some of these places and see a wall of games, but they always have a surplus cart somewhere. It's in the back that they'll bring back and forth to fill the wall when they're not open. But some people at these places will just bring the whole darn thing out to you. And there's usually a lot on there because they can only keep so much in the wall. So I looked around, didn't see much, but did see a few nice things. As I was looking, did see 2 nice little gems here. You got Ultimate Alliance for the PlayStation 3. Another action RPG, much like Gauntlet. We're just talking superheroes here. You know, Wolverine, Spidey, Blade. That's kind of a cool pull. I think the whole entire Fantastic Four team's on here. Yeah, Thor, Ghost Rider. And on the PS3, this guy's actually really in demand. You can find it for all the systems, really, but for whatever reason, the PS3 one's kind of the cherry. So that's pretty cool. Also, Warriors, come out and play. This was really neat. We have this in the hold, and ever since we got the boat in the water, I always wanted to bring us over to Coney Island to hang out with the Warriors. It will happen one day. It just hasn't happened yet. We have this, but it's always nice to find a second copy for a nice price. This game's pretty in demand too. You'd be surprised. This game's still running somewhere in the $20-$25 range because people want to play it, and I really don't blame them. It's a great game, especially for 2-player. And then finally, just they had the Chappelle Show, the complete series for $1. I haven't seen it. I've seen a little bit of Chappelle, but I've never seen all of them, certainly. So I grabbed that. So what are we looking at here? With that transaction, $5. I think the PS3 game was $5 also, so $10. $1 on Chappelle. And this was $1 too. PS2 games, they usually just do $1. So $12. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Alright. Gotta get all the boss battle games out of the way. And we'll mix them up. Okay, so this one on here, I was really excited. I had some other stuff to show, but when I found this stuff today, I had to bump it. Because our friends over at Boss Battle Games, especially Felicia's, really into Pokemon. If you didn't know, Pokemon's 20th anniversary happened, what, last week? Something like that. Can you believe that? So she's really into it. And when I found this lot, I thought, oh man, we got to run this. If we're doing a Boss Battle show, she's going to want to see this. So I walked into a place. Another place very similar. They had a wall full of games. I'm looking through them. They're asking $6 a game for last generation stuff, PS3, Xbox 360. Not that excited. But then they had a glass counter that was locked, and inside they had some pretty choice 3DS games. And I was like, ugh. They're asking $6 on these games. They're probably gonna rake me over the coals on those. But it's always worth checking. So, but before I checked, I saw that they had a Nintendo Entertainment System tied up with an old orange gun and the hookups. And it was on a shelf. And I was just, I'm actually in the market for another one. Not for me, but for my parents. We have a pretty beat up one back at their place. So I'm looking to get another one there. So when I talked to the clerk, who was a real nice guy, the flaming axes are back. I love it. Every game should have a screensaver like that. I love flaming axes. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted. The clerk, when he took my turn, I said, "Hey, can I take a look at the Nintendo Entertainment System?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." He pulls it down. Now I'm thinking this is a high-end joint. Okay, I'm thinking this is a high-end joint, so I'm thinking they're going to be asking $50, which is high. For me personally, especially in this kind of setting, this is not a retro game store where they refurbish these, or this is like the place to go if you need something kind of store. This is a pawn shop, essentially, so whatever they get, they get. Okay? And they're not exactly experts at fixing it or testing it or what have you. So I'm thinking 50 because this seems to be a high place to me in terms of price. So he shows it to me, pops it down on the table. Nice guy. So he turns it over, and I'm like, $90? $90 for a loose Nintendo Entertainment System with the hookups, I think 2 controllers, and I'm being generous because it may have been 1, and a light gun. $90. And I look at him, and I'm like, I reacted in the exact same way. I'm like, $90? He's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Who priced this? And he's like, another guy. I was trying to tell him I knew nobody listens to me. And I'm like, that's outrageous. He's like, what would you pay? And I'm like, I think a fair price is 50. And he's actually picks it up, and he's like, well, you know what? And he's taking it to the counter like, I'm going to pay 50. And I said, but that ain't even at fit. And then I finished my thought. I'm like, I think 50's fair, but even I would not pay 50. I think you'd be able to get 50, but for 90, that thing's going to sit on the shelf, in my opinion. Outrageous. What people think Nintendo goes for these days. God! It's ridiculous! Anyway, these aren't gold bars, people. It's just Nintendo games. It's just Nintendo. Calm down. So anyway, I said, all right, well, can I take a look at the 3DS games that I saw in the cabinet? He's like, yeah, no problem. So at a glance, I already saw a pretty good lot, okay? But I didn't know what this guy was going to go for. And 3DS games are very, very sketchy these days. Some people don't know what they are and they sell them real cheap, but most people are selling them for somewhere around $15, okay? So, but it was worth checking because I couldn't see any prices. So we go down there, and this guy likes me. We go down there, we check it out. I'm like, so what are you doing on these? What are 3DS games going for these days? Like, what a shark! You know, I know what they're going for. I'm like, what are you asking for? And I'm grabbing at one, and he's like, oh well, what? I don't know. They got prices on them. I'm looking. I'm like, no, I'm not seeing a price. He's like, I don't know. How about $4 each? I'm raising my eyebrow because I've seen them. Let's take a look. $4 each on these. Okay, let's start out a little calm. Okay, the Sonic Classics Collection. This is a 3DS. This is a original DS game. The first 4 Sonics on here. You got Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and finally Sonic and Knuckles. So all of the Sega Genesis games on one very small, insignificant little cartridge. To be honest, the critics didn't really like this one, but I think that was more because at the time they were asking somewhere around $35 to $40 for this game. No, more like $30. $30 for 4 ports of an old Genesis game. So, but for 4, do that math. All right, do that math. It's a buck a game. All right, what do we got here? Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I'm pretty sure this is like a roguelike with Pokemon. If you don't know what a roguelike is, it's basically a randomized dungeon. You don't know what monsters are gonna show up. You don't know what loot's gonna show up. You don't one time you could play the game and you're turning left. One time you play the game, you're turning right. You see how far you survive. Sounds pretty cool. What's it called? Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity. There's so many of these. I personally never played any of them, but pretty popular series. And, you know, it's Pokemon, and it's dungeon crawling. I like dungeon crawling. This was the first one I picked up as I'm asking him price, and he says $4. Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS. Actually really happy to have this because they play this a lot at boss battles, and I can't train because my copy of it is in Illinois. My sister is borrowing it. So now maybe I can get a little more respectable at Smash. This is awesome. This is so awesome. Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed. What a great game. I play this on PS3. It's so neat to be able to play this on the go now. I don't play Mario Kart. I play this. I can't get enough. You want to talk about weird pulls for a racing game? Look at these two on the back. You can play as Wreck-It Ralph. And you know next to Wreck-It Ralph in the blue? Danica Patrick. Danica Patrick. In a Sega racing game. It's so funny to me. And there's all kinds of other actual Sega characters you can play as. Knights, Sonic. The level design is just to die for. It's transformed because you're in a car. You're in your car 1 second, then all of a sudden, road turns into water. You jump off the road. Your car transforms in the middle of the air, and you're in a boat. And it's all seamless. It's all on the fly. So many different modes. Can't recommend that on any system enough. Sonic Racing Transformed. What's this? Another Sonic game. Whoever this guy was into Sonic. I'll just say that right now, okay? Sonic Boom. Shattered Crystal. I've never heard of this. I can't even tell you what it's like. Could not even... No idea. Super Mario Land 3D World. I hear this is incredible. I'm relatively sure this is floating around in the hold somewhere. I've never played it. I'm so burned out on Mario. I don't know why. I can't get my head around it. Zelda all day, but Mario, I don't know. Pokemon X. Pokemon X. This is an X-rated Pokemon game. It's not. I'm just kidding. It's a bad joke. I'm sorry. Pokemon X came out with Pokemon Y. I think these are the first generation for the 3DS. Relatively sure we have Y floating around in the hold. I don't know. We may have this too. I'm not really sure. Sonic. Again, Lost World. There's so many of these. It looks like there's 2D stuff, 3D stuff, 4-player races. Who knows? Lots of crazy, lots of crazy Sonic games these days. Oh, Sonic gets a bad rap, and yet they keep releasing these. Somebody's buying them. Somebody's buying them. Sonic Generations. Now, this is a cool game that I know we have in the hold, because this game actually combines all the different styles that Sonic's played over the years into one game. So you're talking 2D, it starts out, then the more sketchier 3D Sonic Adventure stuff. I think that's neat. I think it's a really cool way to almost create like a parallel dimension crossover title. And I'd like to see more of the more like legacy characters do something like this. I don't know. I know some companies like Bandai have tried like crossover RPGs with their guys. That's not exactly where I want it to be. I don't know what I'd do. But some sort of like parallel dimension changing, like Kingdom Hearts is a great example. Kingdom Hearts does a really good job of, taking a bunch of really great characters and then spreading them out amongst a bunch of different worlds. I think that's cool. I think Sonic Generations kind of falls into that. It's just more action oriented, which is great. Sonic Colors. I hear this is good. Never played it. Heard it's good. I mean, how many Sonic games? They're all action games. These are all different spins, I'm sure, but they're just Sonic. And then, so I grabbed those. $4 each on all those, okay? $4 each on that pile. And then I'm like, do you have anything else? He goes to the boss. He's like, can I borrow the keys to the safe? Because it's a good customer. So he goes in the back, and he's pulling PS3 stuff. He's pulling Wii stuff. He's pulling PS2 stuff. He pulled like 4 boxes for me. And I found 3 things. And I just want to make this clear. If you're the kind of person who's going to walk into a store and take the initiative to say, can you pull out what you got? And this guy pulls boxes, you better find at least a couple things to take. Okay? Even if you don't think it's that good of a deal at the time, you think you maybe down the road you can get a little better. If you're talking a few dollars or something, man, you gotta bite the bullet. You gotta take a couple things, okay? Because this guy's already going out of his way. These people do work on commission. He could be just as easily working on a bigger deal with another customer than shilling out boxes for you. So you better try and help him out. So I did pull one thing out of each of the boxes he grabbed. Silent Line Armored Core for the PS2. Never heard of it, but pretty badass artwork. Just a huge robot there. Who made this? From Software made this. So I don't know. Armored Core game. They made quite a few of those. Dynasty Warriors Extreme Legends. There's so many of these on the system. I really need to go into the hold and see what PS2 games we have and what we don't. Make some sort of list. Because I'm not even sure anymore. But this one looked pretty together, really nice shape. I mean, there's even that plastic thing that makes it sealed still sitting on there, so whatever. And then this game I've been looking for the right price for a long time. This wasn't really the price I wanted. This was $5. But again, sometimes you gotta bite the bullet for that guy, okay? Because think about it down the road. You don't want to be known as that guy who comes in and asks for everything and gets nothing. Okay? That's not going to help you in the long run. So I picked this up. Really nice game called Endless Ocean Blue World. This is basically an underwater simulator. You're a scuba diver. It's a very calm game. You can actually use the ill-fated Wii Speak peripheral, so you can actually talk with your friends and play with them online. Although I'm relatively sure that this is no longer online. I don't think anything on Wii is online anymore. I think all those servers are dead. That's a really nice manual. See that? That's really pretty. So I'm actually looking forward to tooling around with this one. I've been on the hunt for this one for a long, long time. It's not that expensive, but I wanted to wait for the right time. I guess that's today. So that's it for that. That was a lot. Let's take a look. I'm going to gather it all up here. Yeah, it sounds cheap, but then you buy so many, right? So we're talking. Actually, I don't think he did 5. Let's see. So it was $4 each on all the handheld stuff. So let's start there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 of those at $4 is 40. Okay? And then we bought these 3. So Dynasty Warriors, Silent Line, and Endless Ocean. So 40. He did 46. So he must have given me a better deal on this than I thought. Probably did $4 on this and 2 on these. Or $1 each on those. So 46 for that is high. But some of those, I mean, Smash alone goes for 30. And it's double. So don't worry, okay? We're going to be able to patch the holes in the ship and still walk away with a good lot of Sonic games. Okay? Pretty hot stuff. I mean, honestly, if you really want to know, I'll probably... Let's take a look. I'm probably going to get rid of the Smash eventually. Maybe sooner than later. I don't know. And Mario 3D World, because we already have that one. And that should cover everything. So there you go. Pretty nice lot. Okay, finally the most exciting thing. At least for me. Oh my god, we're way over. Where did we start? I think we got about 15 minutes. Okay? Can't believe I got to get all this in 15 minutes. Alright. Sometimes I look at board games at a thrift store, okay? I love board games, alright? Don't find many, but I did find this today. Axis and Allies, 1941. This is a great game back in the 80s. This one was made in 2012 by Wizards of the Coast. It looks like everything's in there, but I didn't really check. But, you know, you got all the pieces here. Nice little baggies. Great war game. Pretty hot art design there. Box is a little beat up. Somebody had some duct tape on there. What are you going to do? Okay. So in the same section, in the board game section, you're going to find puzzles. You're going to find Seen It of every design. You're going to find Twilight Zone, the board game. You're going to find just crap all the time. What's the game that always comes up? Seen It is always there. Puzzles are always there. I don't know, just stuff you'd never want. But sometimes you find stuff. Axis and Allies is great, but this was shocking. This was shocking. I brought this up to the counter to get it to get the guy to ring it up, and I put it in the counter like that. He's like, "Well, what's this?" He turns it over, and this is what he sees. Look at that. Now you're playing with power in a whole new way. It's an NES Power Pad in the box, and I'm pretty sure rats lived in here. Okay? I'm going to pull it out. Hopefully I don't get tetanus from this. It's terrible. On the way here, you know, it's so sad where a Nintendo collector's mind goes, because you're thinking, oh man, you know, it hasn't been open. Maybe somebody folded a game up in there. Maybe like Dinosaur Peak or Little Samson or like Gargoyle's Quest 2 is going to be in there. Not going to be anything in here. It's a freaking power pad. It probably was never pulled out of the box. I don't know if it was distributed like this. That's what's really, because it's a totally nondescript box. Do you see that? There's nothing else on here. Was this how it was packed in to the bundle when you bought a Nintendo and this? I know not. Let's pull it out. It's going to be a pain in the ass to get back in there. Probably going to regret doing this. But I know we all want to see it. So let's take a look at the dusty, musty pad of power. It's filthy! Do you see the filth? Can you see? It's terrible. This guy looks... Wow, as new as they come, though. It's still wrapped up. It's still wrapped up. Oh, what am I doing? I feel so bad unwrapping this thing. Oh my god, it's got that new plastic smell. Can you believe that? How old is this thing? How old is this thing? 30 years? Jeez. Unbelievable. Can you see? Wow. So yeah. So really exciting. I want to put it back in the box because we do have one of these in the hold. How often do we use this thing though, really? But it was just so exciting to see, you know, a new Nintendo product just sitting in the box. Really neat. So yeah. Okay. Enough of this. We don't have a lot of time left. Let's try and get one more dungeon in, and we'll try and find a question, and then we'll wrap up for the day, okay? Gauntlet Dark Legacy. For the PlayStation 2. Let's give it up. Alright. Goodbye, Power Pad. I'll miss you most of all. Putting the chest down, do a little bit of this. Anybody see my phones? I got them. Flaming axes. Once again. And we're in. Oh god, I don't have time for another love. I'm going to find another realm. We'll find one more here. Give me a realm already. We don't have time for this. We're way over. Here we go, Skyland. Let's go to the Sky World, shall we? It looks like we've never been to this one before. Let's try it. There's a bunch of airships here. Clearly, oh, the mothership. Inspired by, Final Fantasy, no doubt. Alright, back to the tournament. So, the first round was Super Mario Brothers versus on the arcade. This is basically Nintendo. The Nintendo Super Mario Brothers we all know, but it was the arcade form. So it was score-based. I was up second. I think Bismuth and Pat were a little farther down the line. The first guy went up, he got about 40 grand. He went into the third level, got about as far as the third level with 40 grand, and not a bad start. It was only 3 minutes. You had 3 minutes to play or 3 lives. Okay, you lose your lives, you're out. And to get as much score as you could in 3. So we I'm gonna flame these guys. Yeah. So we basically all took turns. I went a different route. I decided. Now you can see I can see through these barrels now because I have the X-ray glasses on. I'm just playing as sloppy as hell, just because why not? I'm talking. So I went second. I went a different way. I decided to take a warp zone, going to the fourth world because I knew there was more bricks that I could kill on World 4 than if I went to World 1-3. So I ended up getting 50 grand. I think Cody got somewhere around, I don't know, 10 to 20 grand. You know, pretty. He doesn't really know the game. And then Pat, I don't know what the heck happened to him, but he walked out of there losing all his lives and only making 5 grand. And to give you an idea of how low 5 grand is, do you remember how in Super Mario Brothers you could jump on the flagpole to get points? Okay, 5,000 is the best you can get on the flagpole. And that's just one jump. He did 5,003 lives, so I don't know. I'll have to ask him what happened there. Can I open this up, please? Oh, you're gonna puzzle me? You know what, Midway? Oh, jeez. Oh, here's a fourth one. That's the problem. Midway, you're killing me right now. Oh, I almost had it. Is everyone screaming at me which way to go with this? Alright. Ah! I didn't expect this. Ah! That's it. Okay. What was it, by the way? 3 greens and a red. Alright, fair enough. Oh, screw you. Okay, so that was the end of the first round. I ended up getting first place on Super Mario Brothers. If you get first place in a round, you not only advance, but you also get you get loot, as they put it. And in my case, the loot was a Luigi pixel art, which it was a magnet. Unfortunately, I don't have it here. I've already posted it where I'm going to keep it. But that was pretty cool. Felicia made that herself. It's a spot-on version of Luigi from Mario 2. So I went to the next round, and the next round was... The clue was... The first round. They had clues before the tournament. The first clue was... God, I'm even forgetting what game it was. Oh yeah, one word, chaos. And when I saw that, I was thinking the game was gonna be Turtles, the arcade game. I figured they put 4 people on there for score, and whoever kills the most Foot Clan, you know, they're the ones who win the round. But no, there was 8 people in the tournament, so it was an 8-man match of Super Smash Brothers. And if you haven't played Super Smash Brothers, you're talking every Nintendo character under the sun all beating the crap out of each other, okay? In kind of a 2D plane. So the match was, we all get 5 lives. I believe they had a timer on it also, which could have been 3 minutes, maybe it was 2. I picked Bowser, the villain from Super Mario Brothers, because, you know, I like to play a guy who's got a lot of weight. His moves pack a lot of punch. We're way over. I think I ended up in 6th. Oh yeah, I tied for 3rd with another 4 guys. The last 2 guys, the guys who got the last 2 places, they got knocked out. So it's down to 6 people in the second round. Going into the second round, the clue was gotta go fast. And I thought it was going to be this driving game that they have called Initial D. But it turned out to be Mario Kart 64 on the Nintendo 64. Now, I haven't played in a while, so I went with a safe bet. I went with an all-arounder. I went with Mario. Usually I like Bowser, but his top speed, his acceleration is terrible. And I didn't want to blow that. So we played two teams of 3. There were 6 people left. So the first round was a match of 3 people. Second round was a match of 3. I was in the first round, and I did exactly what I wanted to do. I played slow and steady to win the race. We got one guy was owning it, one guy was sucking at it, and then there was me who was just kind of playing average. And so I got second place in my tier for that round and advanced to the third round. Whoa! That was a plane. Oh, give me that potion. Third round, the clue was shoot first, ask questions later. And after Mario Kart, 2 people were out. So in the third round, there were only 4 people left. And I guessed that the game would be The Grid, which is a game by Midway. It's basically a shooting game, kind of like Smash TV, except it's a third-person shooter, and you have a joystick with 2 buttons, one for shooting, one for jumping, and then a trackball, like Marble Madness style, to aim. Think about that. So your left hand, you got a joystick with 2 buttons, kind of like a flight simulator joystick. You're shooting and jumping with that one, and then your right hand is working the trackball. So I thought I had this in the bag. Not only did I predicted the game, but I loved that game. I don't play it that much, but every time I've played it at Boss Battle, which has only been a handful of times, I usually stick to the fighting games. I've done very well. So I was all for The Grid. I had no problem with it. Now the first round was between Bismuth, who was still in the round, still in the game, and this other guy we didn't know. It's part of the local fighting game community. And Bismuth beat him. So Bismuth advanced to the finals. Then I went up against this guy named Josh. We'd been talking, having a good time. Never met the guy before, except for before the arcade. We hung out. Anyone know where I need to go here? Kind of lost. We don't have time to be lost. A stupid runway. So anyway, me and Josh go at it. It's best of 3 rounds. The rounds are timed to like 2 minutes. The first round, we tie on kills. And the determining factor if you tie on kills is money. Alright, we're going to wrap this. We don't have time for this. Wait, here we go. I think. Come on, let me out! If I'm stuck, we really got to go. Here, how about over here? Okay, here we go. Okay, I think. No, we've been here. We're going to wrap. Yeah, I think we have to wrap. Can I please? No? Alright. Sorry, we're wrapping. That's Dark Legacy. We're out of time. Sorry. Great game. Can't recommend it enough. Great game. Can't recommend it enough. The third round, long story short, Josh beats me by decision, essentially, in the first round. Second round, I beat him with maybe 1 kill. And then in the third round, he beats me with 2 kills. So it was very close. But unfortunately for myself, I got knocked out, which shockingly left Bismuth in the finals. That was kind of an upset. We didn't see him advancing farther than me, or at least I didn't. But good for him. The final round was test your might. And that's pretty easy to figure out. It was Mortal Kombat 2. That was my prediction, and that's what they ended up playing. This is Mortal Kombat, but Mortal Kombat 2, they fought it out very close. Best of 3 rounds. Came down to almost the last hit, I think. Certainly the last round. And Josh managed to beat Bismuth. So Josh walked away. This unknown guy walked away, winning the tournament. Felicia gave him the bonus round, which is to fight the boss of Boss Battle Games, which is my buddy Dustin. Dustin knows his way around Mortal Kombat 2. I think I might have been able to take him, but Josh, while he knows the grid, he doesn't know anything about fighting games and got trounced. So, the boss still lives, but the dungeon crawl is happening again in the next month. Felicia was very happy with how everything came together. Very excited about the next round of it. So in a month, she plans to pull another 4 games from who knows where and who knows when, and we're all going to be dropped into the pot of boiling water like lobsters. So I can't wait. Thank you guys once again for creating a great place for someone like me to really one of the highlights of my week, and also to do it with some imagination and some style. Really shows that you guys are doing this for passion just as much as, for a business. So I'll see you soon. That's all I have to say is I'll see you guys soon. Okay, let's get a question over here from our live feed. Looks like we have one here from Dirty Pirate Hooker. Hi. Let's see. Hello, Cap and Rez. My name is Maya. Oh, well, that's sweet. Okay. I don't think Dirty Pirate Hooker's her name. I think it's Maya. All right. Hello, Cap and Rez. My name is Maya, and I have a question for you. What kind of game would you recommend for me, as I'm only 7 years old? Well, hello. Oh, my God. I called her a Dirty Pirate Hooker. Hi, Maya. Sorry. What would I recommend to you? 7 years old? Well, let's see. When I was a kid, and I was your age, we had to go to the arcade because there weren't any systems out yet. I don't think I got my Nintendo until I was 8 years old. But for someone like you, I would recommend... as a kid, I was playing Mario. And Mario was a lot of fun. But part of that really comes from playing with your friends. They would come over to my house and we'd play together and vice versa. If I were to recommend an easy game for you to find at your age, because I know 7-year-olds don't have a lot of pocket money, and we're looking at something that's easy to play, fun, not hard to find. Wow, I'm pretty stumped. Disney Infinity is a good way to go. Little Big Planet is a really good choice. Little Big Planet's a really good choice. Platforming, creativity. Those are all good things. I'd love to see you play something older, but I don't know that I would. Kids don't want to play old stuff. They want to play stuff from their time. The best thing for 7-year-olds right now, I guess I'd have to say is Disney Infinity. You get your own character. You get to put them in your pocket when you're not playing with them, and you can play with your friends, and that's pretty cool. And they're not, if you know where to look, they're not terribly expensive. Just don't go overboard. That's the problem with the Infinity. People think they need it all. You don't. Okay, just get a couple figures that you like personally, and really get to know them. Okay, there's no reason to play just a little bit of everybody. Just play a lot of one or two guys, and I think you could have a lot of fun with Disney Infinity. And that's a franchise that's going to keep coming out. So your characters will be able to move on to other worlds. So yeah, it's a lot different than when I was playing Super Mario Brothers at your age. But I'd say it's the way to go. Oh, and honestly, a Wii U wouldn't be that bad either. Pick up a Wii U. There's some good Nintendo games out there. What's the one I would really want you to play on Wii U? A Zelda. I'd love to see you play a Zelda game. Definitely play a Zelda game. It sucks that there's no chick Zelda game that I can think of. Beyond Good and Evil for the PlayStation 2, but again, we're getting into obscure stuff. You're 7. It's going to be weird for you at first, but find a game like Zelda where it's just this open world and you're a hero. Play something positive. There's being a badass is overrated. That's just my opinion. Okay, we're extremely over. I apologize for that. I want to thank Felicia and Dustin for having us at the YNL channel come over and have fun and shoot, be in their way when they're dealing with this really awesome tournament. Look on the channel. We're going to be putting up some interviews and some fun that we've done. Actually, we've been doing that for a month at least, but now we're really trying to help these guys out, and they're trying to help us out. It's a lot of fun. It's great to have a fun place to shoot and a great subject to shoot. So we're going to keep doing that. Thanks again for coming to the ship. Thanks again for having fun with me. Thank you for joining in the adventure. And thanks for playing Gauntlet with me. Can't recommend that one enough either. Cheap. It's alright cheap. It's PS2. Everything's cheap on PS2, right? Okay, so we're done. That's it. I'll see you next time. Keep that imagination running. Don't let anybody change it on you. It's just not worth it. We'll see you next voyage. And until then, farewell and adieu to ye Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, ye ladies of Spain. For we received orders for to sail to the tower, and we may never see ye fair ladies again. Whew, man, that's got to be the most gratifying drink of the week. Keep your powder dry, mateys.